Segment sponsored by Dillow-Taylor Funeral Home and Cremation Services. Dillow-Taylor Funeral Home and Cremation Services has been part of the Tri-Cities community since the late 20s. And this morning, Tom Howard and Kim Holley with Dillow-Taylor are here to share with us more about the services they offer, including pre-need planning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Tom, let's talk about this. You've been involved with Dillow-Taylor for a number of years now.
Yes. I came to work at Dillow-Taylor in 1992.
Okay.
So I worked with them for 30 years. Worked for the Alexander family, and they blessed us with the opportunity after 30 years that we could buy the funeral home. Me and my wife, we took that opportunity, and we've owned it now for 4 years. And all three of our sons work there at the funeral home with us. A daughter-in-law, and also a grandson. He's helping us there at the funeral home.
How important is it to be a family-owned business?
I think it's very important. I think you know, the corporate-owned funeral homes, they do a fine job, but I think the family-owned operation can just care for folks on a level that's unable to be done through a corporate situation.
And let's switch gears just a little bit, Kim, and talk about pre-need planning. That's something that you all offer, you know, every day to folks.
Yes, we do.
Talk to us about it.
Well, I was a financial advisor for a number of years, and you know, in what I did, we planned for everything from, you know, savings, college, retirement. But one thing that we never really built into that plan was not only the financial benefit, but the emotional benefit of being able to do pre-need planning.
Right.
You know, you're taking a huge burden off of your family if you've already put down on paper your wishes, as well as the financial impact, you know, of what you want to spend, what kind of services you want to have. And with what we do at Dillow-Taylor, we're still a funeral home that does guaranteed pricing on services and merchandise. The day that you do that pre-need, you're taking away the component of inflation, because on the day you do it, you're guaranteed those costs for however many years you live until the time of need.
And someone could come in and sit down with you or someone there at Dillow-Taylor and work through all of this.
Absolutely. Yes, we prepare a file that has everything that they tell us they want. So when that time comes, their family, it's a highly emotional time for family. They need to be concentrating on their loved one, not all the particulars of the planning piece.
And let's give an example too. Let's say someone moves away. They've done pre-need planning with you all, but they have to move away to another area. How is that situation handled?
It's portable, because the money that you give the funeral home at the time that you do your planning is held in an insurance policy. That insurance policy can be moved anywhere. You know, we have people that say, what if I have to go here to a family member that lives out west? Right. That will transfer. The only thing you might not have the benefit of, the funeral home that you go to may not do the guaranteed pricing component, but still that policy would transfer anywhere.
Now, I know there's folks out there right now that are sitting here watching us, and they want to get started. They want to get involved in pre-need planning for themselves or a loved one. How do they do that?
It's as easy as calling the funeral home. Call our number, we'll set up a time. Oftentimes they'll just walk in. The only problem with walking in is we may be busy with a service and someone unable to meet with them at that time, but we can usually make an arrangement to get that taken care of too. But call the funeral home.
And it's one-on-one. I mean,
exactly.
You're going to be sitting there getting the answers you need.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I think that's the biggest thing that holds people back is I don't want to walk into a room full of people. I don't want to, you know, go on the phone or do a website. They want that one-on-one. They want that FaceTime.
Yes, they do. And, you know, people I think worry about the paying for it piece. And it's so flexible, because there's so many different options. You don't have to pay for it all at once.
Okay.
You know, there's many options as far as funding that plan and how you do that.
All right. Thank you all for stopping by and sharing the
Thank you
story
for
of
having
Dillow-Taylor
us.
with us. We appreciate it. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Folks, Dillow-Taylor Funeral Home and Cremation Services. We have their number. We have their email address. We have their website. It's all right there on the screen for you. The preceding segment sponsored by Dillow-Taylor Funeral Home and Cremation Services.